Oh, hello there. My name is Mr. Cracker, and today's commentary is going to be about Olbermann or Trudeau. Well, let's take a look. With Keith Olbermann.
So you support Donald Trump?
Ah, yes. Thanks for reminding me. With the music, it's always better. Anyway.
I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm not going to talk about his policies. I'm not going to talk about his promises.
Ah, that's too bad. Talking about his policies and promises would have made for an original video. Possibly even an entertaining one. Imagine that.
I'm not going to talk about whether he's going to cut your taxes or raise them.
He's going to cut them. It's in his policy. And it's one of the promises he made. But you don't want to talk about that.
I'm not going to talk about whether he's going to make America great again or crash it and burn it. And unlike what you probably think, I'm not trying to get the election overturned. I'm not trying to get Hillary Clinton into the White House.
Okay. Well, that's good. Because she lost. And you can't. So get over it.
I'm not claiming the Republican Party won't be there for at least the next 4 years. No. This is about him and you.
It's about moi? How flattering. Now, you've told me what you're not going to be talking about at length. Now, allow me to launch myself into a prediction. You are in fact going to call me dumb, either implicitly or explicitly, and demonstrate you have an unwillingness to understand me and my rationale, or engage with me in any type of discussion. You will do this supported by a naked and unjustified superiority complex. Let's find out if I'm right.
And the respect for you I start with because you're watching this. You are thoughtful enough to have gotten this far. Frankly, I don't know if I could watch your video.
Oh dear, so much to unpack in one sentence. Let's see. I am thoughtful enough, you say. Assuming you even know what the word thoughtful means, how is it that you manage to be so condescending so naturally? Where is this respect for me that you were going to start with, that you spoke of? I don't see it. Not yelling at me like I'm a dog, which is what you promised you wouldn't do, is not what I'd call respect. That's basic decency. You are patronizing me, and you're telling me that I should be commended for being thoughtful and bearing with your calmly delivered insults. And cherry on the top of the cake, you openly say that you wouldn't watch my video. Everything I just predicted came true in one sentence. You truly are something else.
So let's go in on the assumption that you're smarter than I am, in which case you already know what my point is going to be.
Okay, somebody get this man a dictionary. He needs it badly. Listen, I don't mean to be pedantic, sir, but you don't know what smart means. Smart does not mean clairvoyant. Though I do suppose I have predicted everything you were going to say accurately, but that's because you're predictable, not because I'm clairvoyant. Or, as you say, smart. Anyway, moving on. I'm looking forward to your reasoning as to how by virtue and how by virtue of its irrefutability and my being smarter than you, which I'm sure you're not going to use against me at all during this video, I will have to agree with you on all propositions.
I don't know who the political figure would be if our places were reversed.
It would be Donald Trump, because your side would have won, and I would still support Donald Trump. And your question has my smart self very confused. Maybe you'll clarify shortly?
I guess the time I ever got the closest to the position you are in was with John Edwards.
What?
I had a problem, and I didn't see it. And while he was not my first choice, I would have supported him for president.
What are you talking about?
It was a great, humane set of policies. And he had a wife who was so smart.
His wife? Who cares about the wife?
That she probably should have been the candidate instead of him.
Okay. I'm so confused right now. What in the world are you talking about? And why is a vice presidential Democratic candidate who lost in the 2008 primaries to Obama relevant in any way to what you said before? You're imagining that our situations were reversed, right? I don't get it. Are you saying that I should have supported a losing candidate like Ben Carson? And what does Edward's wife, of all people, have anything to do with anything? I'm definitely not smarter than you, Keith. Your brain travels in a different logical dimension than mine.
And then it turned out John Edwards was a con man who had not only fooled me, he had also fooled her, too.
Okay. What we're going to do right now, sir, is we're going to pretend that everything you've said so far makes a lick of sense to anyone, anywhere on the planet. and we're going to move on. Yeah.
If Edwards wasn't my version of this, it would have to be Anthony Weiner.
Wait, what? The guy who sends pictures of his willy over the internet? What are you on about? Snap out of the strip, Keith. I don't follow you despite my alleged superior intellect.
I used to have him on my TV show a lot. He gave straightforward, damn the torpedoes kinds of answers you never get from politicians. He disliked the same Republicans I disliked, and he hated the same Democrats I hated.
Okay, so the two of you agreed. Wait a second. I think I see where you're going with this. You're saying that Trump is fooling me. I don't know, man. Maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong. We'll find out. Why can't you speak plainly?
And even after he crashed and burned the first time, and then he tried to run for mayor of New York, I thought, well, he has to have gotten that problem fixed, and he might be a really good mayor.
What are you on about?
Again. In fact, it had barely stopped. And the next time I saw him, a year ago, I literally was afraid to shake his hand in case
literally shaking.
Somebody took a picture of it. Or B, in case whatever he had, it was catching.
All of this ridiculous roundabout diatribe to tell me that Edwards and Weiner have problems with their genitalia, and that you were fooled into liking them initially, but now you're afraid to be seen with Weiner. I think you are implying this will happen to me regarding Trump. Speculation, sir. Very long-winded, unfocused, powerfully unentertaining speculation.
So I have not been where you are right now, but close.
No, you haven't. Trump won. I am happy. I'd be glad to shake his hand if crackers had hands. I like many of his policies. Some I don't. I hope he will implement the ones that mattered most to me. Specifically, for instance, scrapping regulations for private enterprises, lowering taxation, repealing socialized medicine. Wait, that one is already in the bag. And building the wall. I'm nothing like you in any respect. You're a strange man.
And you are in a terrible position. A man whose opinions you agree with has been elected president and is about to be sworn in.
Oh dear. Do you know what this means? This means you've made my headline. All right, let's read. Olbermann, a Justin Trudeau clone? Yes. All right. Let me repeat what it is that you've just said. What you've said is, and you are in a terrible position. A man whose opinions you agree with has been elected president. Do you not see how this is similar to Trudeau's famous, if you kill them they win line? Yes, a man I agree with has been elected. I agree with him, so I supported him. The man I supported has won. I am happy. I would not define this as a terrible position. Let's continue, but you're becoming increasingly difficult not to mock.
Yet, I'm pretty sure you know the problem here. You're smart, and generally speaking, the only person who can fool you is you. You're smart enough to recognize something I saw when I first met this man 33 years ago, and that is this.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to the specifics you're about to hit me with.
There is something really, really wrong with you.
I knew you were going to throw that you are smart blackmail line back at me in order to force me to agree with you. The only thing that I saw that's clearly wrong with Trump is his idea of monitoring the internet to a higher degree. That's really sinister to me. Other than that, I don't have a clue what you're talking about. I don't buy your premises, Keith. I am smart if I'm smart or otherwise, okay? Remember, you're not talking to a socialist friend. You're talking to a cracker that sees the world differently than you do. Now about these specifics I was hoping for. Let's see what you've got.
Who does this on Christmas Eve? His tweet was a plug for a documentary about him.
What? Who cares?
Not even a new documentary, a repeat. Who does this on Christmas Eve?
I don't know, a businessman who's looking for promotion to promote his brand. Successfully, I may add. I don't know, is this a problem?
His Christmas greeting on Twitter was just a photo of himself. Not the
Oh,
family,
dearie
not
me.
the wife, not the kids, not even the vice president, not Santa, not Jesus.
Not Jesus.
Just him.
Firstly, he is the President of the United States, and he is wishing you and me a Merry Christmas. He's using his personal Twitter account, so he speaks for himself in the current role he has. What you seem to have ignored is the importance of the message. Notice how he wrote and hashtagged the expression Merry Christmas. Not Happy Holidays, not Happy Hanukkah, which I'm sure you would have loved, but Merry Christmas. He was sending a message, and he sent it himself without involving others. Why is this a problem? You are actually starting to irritate me with this criticism of tweets. It's entirely pointless.
Who does this? 2 days later, meaning 49 days after the election is still all he was tweeting about. President Obama campaigned hard and personally in the very important swing states and lost.
Way to take this out of context, Keith. This tweet was likely in response to a statement that Obama made to the press when he asserted that he would have won if he had run for a third term. Let's see if we can find the sources here. There you go. There's Fox talking about this. Obama, I could have won third term. In the third paragraph, they mention how Trump responded with a follow-up tweet on Monday, which was the 26th. This is yet a follow-up tweet to the follow-up tweet, the one that you indicated, right? Let's see. New York Times talking about this. NPR, I'm sure your favorite. Obama says he would have won. And look, it even made international news with theguardian.co.uk. Now let's take a look at the tweet again. President Obama campaigned hard and personally. This here is the reference, okay, to the previous messages in the very important swing states and lost. Whatever, he's just riffing off of what has been happening there. You've got nothing.
What kind of man does this? You win, you act like you've won before, you don't waste your energy on the guy who's gone in a month anyway. Maybe if you're a good guy, you're gracious in victory, you're a good winner, at least during the holidays.
Or you're a good guy who likes to have fun, and you have a sense of humor. Unlike somebody I've just met. Oh, you're about to hit me with more tweets here. Carry on.
Happy New Year to all, including to my many enemies, and those who have fought me and lost so badly they just don't know what to do. Love.
He's great.
Would you write that?
After this video of yours? Oh, yes. You clearly don't know what to do. And I cannot decide if it's more tragic or funny. Your attempts to undermine my conviction that choosing Donald J. Trump over Hillary Clinton are failing so badly. And you just keep on going with the same ineffective tactics. And we're all making fun of you. Well done.
Would you write that when you got votes from fewer people than the other candidate?
This enrages me. 6 words. The popular vote does not exist. Repeat them with me. It doesn't do anything. This argument of the popular vote, repeated ad nauseum in the vain hope that the 500th time you say it will be more convincing, is not really an argument at all in the first place. It's particularly relevant in this context. You are a moralist. You're trying to tell Trump what he should and shouldn't do, and me what I should and shouldn't feel about what he does. And you continue to show this annoying, undying contempt for crackers like me. You are very obnoxious, sir.
Would you call everybody else your enemy?
Alright, let's add lies to the rhetoric now. He didn't call everybody else his enemy. He said he has many enemies, which is very different and probably true for all I know. You are not using hyperbole here, you're deceiving your audience willfully and with malice, betting on the fact that people forgot the tweet you just displayed. But here it is. There we go. See? Happy New Year to all. That means everybody. And then comma for an apposition. And we're going to add some bits here to explain what all means in detail. Right? We're going to include the many enemies and, separate category, those who have fought me and lost. These are his opponents. These are not his enemies. How did you expect to get away with this lie?
Okay, maybe just because when I interviewed him when I was 25 and he owned a football team and I came away muttering to my producer, what's wrong with that guy? Maybe I'm still wrong.
Okay.
Maybe there's nothing really dangerous about a man who has to tell you how much he won by again and again and again.
Oh dear, he's getting under your skin, is he? With his rubbing it in. And I love it. Here's a picture of Pepe. Hope you like it. Hey, baby. Oh, man. This is hilarious. Oh, back to my place.
they actually didn't win by very much. Maybe that doesn't matter. Maybe from where you sit, it's only about making America great again and America first and always defending this country because we are right and we need to be loyal to our great nation.
Whatever you say.
Vladimir.
Let's do the next tweet. Alright. Apparently Putin says that Clinton has no dignity. Let me look it up. Here. Okay, let's listen.
Все попытки свалить свои неудачи действующей администрации и руководства Демократической партии Соединенных Штатов пытается свалить на внешние факторы.
Yep, they are.
Демпартия проиграла не только президентские выборы, но и выборы в Сенат, где у республиканцев большинство, в Конгресс, где у республиканцев большинство.
Oh yeah, it totally is. You should stop hacking things all the time.
Они по всем фронтам проигрывают и ищут виновных на стороне. Это, на мой взгляд, просто, ну как бы это сказать.
Well, there we go. There we go. That wasn't that difficult. All that Trump was actually doing is quoting Putin, who is wisely telling people of your ilk to look within themselves for answers as to why they were pummeled so badly. Now, let's hear your explanation.
Putin said today about Hillary and Dems, in my opinion, it is humiliating. One must be able to lose with dignity. So true.
So
Great
true.
Move on delay by V. Putin. I always knew he was very smart. Who defends a Russian dictator ahead of an American president, any American president, or an American politician, or half of the people in America?
Firstly, good question. Who defends Putin? Trump is praising some of his decisions and some of his rhetoric. He's not defending him. Secondly, let's remind our audience about what had happened. Obama expelled 35 Russian diplomats based on the Russian hacking allegations. I'm not even going to go into whether they're true, false, or anything in between, yeah? Now, Putin has decided not to react to this obvious provocation, irrespective of its legitimacy. Trump thinks that this is wise, or, as he called him, smart. Clearly, he knows what smart means, by the way, and it's not clairvoyant. I see no attack of Obama here, not even an implicit one. You are implying that Trump disagrees with Obama, which could very well be true, and apparently, according to you, this is a sin, because you can't disagree with the US president for any reason. I'm looking forward to you putting money where your mouth is, by the way, in the future, under the Trump presidency. Anyway, Trump, being pretty clever, avoided criticizing Obama and praised Putin at the same time. Looks to me like the man knows how to communicate very well, unlike what you're suggesting. At any rate, could you do something for me, Keith? Could you kindly stop lying for a few minutes? I really want to get to the end of this video eventually.
I mean, when he was president, as much as I hated George W. Bush, I never took Vladimir Putin's side against George W. Bush. Would you do that?
Maybe. If Bush were lying or dangerous, I would, yes. Anyway, this is irrelevant, and you're both a liar and a hypocrite because you would do that too. You're against Trump right now. I suppose he hasn't been sworn in yet, but whatever. I can't see how that's relevant.
Maybe you would. I said I wouldn't yell. I'm not going to. To my mind, it is possible for you to agree with Donald Trump and still be a good person.
Yes, but I'm likely an idiot and wrong, aren't I? You know, saying somebody's smart and demonstrating that you in fact think that they are two different things. Completely. Continue.
Just disagree with you. But I don't think you're my enemy.
See, I do think you are mine, though. You slander me, patronize me, attempt to delegitimize the election of a man I supported. The fact that you don't label yourself as my enemy doesn't mean you don't act as one. And actions are more important than words.
But let me run one last pair of tweets past you and ask you if you think they were written by a normal guy.
If you must.
Various media outlets and pundits say that I thought I was going to lose the election. Wrong. It all came together in the last week, and I thought and felt I would win big, easily over the fabled 270, 306. When they canceled fireworks, they knew, and so did I. So
cool.
Those tweets
An honest tweet.
Monday. That means it had only been 3 weeks since he got up at one of those victory tour stops. This one was in West Allis, Wisconsin on December 13th, and he said...
I'll cut it short, I don't care.
He thought he was going to lose the election, and he thought he was going to lose the election on the night of the election. Quote, I go and see my wife, I say, baby, I'll tell you what, we're not going to win tonight because the polls have come out. I always used to believe in those exit polls. I don't believe in them anymore. I said if we're going to lose, I don't want a big ballroom.
You're so disingenuous. It's uncanny. Have you not heard of rhetoric? I have no idea if any of these statements are literally true. And neither do you. But here's how it worked. And listen real good so you understand, okay? During the campaign, Trump played confident. This was his strategy. And it rubbed off onto many voters, most likely. Just so you don't forget, Trump won against all odds. He won a very difficult primary race, and then against Clinton, who the Dems thought was a surefire way to get into the White House. Then, when the race was over, he used an opportunity to take a jab at pollsters who had been wrong all along demonstrably, and he undermined their authority in the process. How are you so convinced that Trump doesn't know what he's doing when he speaks to the people? It's baffling. Anyway, no, I see no problems with any of these tweets and this quote. None at all. None. Zero.
There aren't a lot of choices here, are there? I mean,
whatever.
He either lied in the tweets or at the tour stop in Wisconsin or to his wife that night, or he forgot that he said it, or there's something wrong with him.
Can you please stop taking everything he writes literally to promote your deceitful agenda? Thank you.
To pretend that there isn't something wrong with him, you have to pretend really hard.
Projection and inversion of the highest order. Falsehood and repetitiveness. What a cocktail.
And I know you can't say it, I know you don't want to believe it, and I know you won't believe this either, but I wish it were not true. But we have elected a man who is not all there.
I love it how you, with your rhetoric, have left me no room to simply, plainly, tersely disagree with you. I disagree with you, Keith Olbermann. You have nothing on Trump so far. A handful of tweets and a personal impression. That's nothing. Let alone anything concrete. Nothing at all.
And that cannot end happily for anybody. His illness, and it is an illness.
Illness, yeah?
Putting you at risk, and your family at risk, and your kids, and my family, and everybody we know, the ones we like, and
everybody
we don't. Don't say anything. Don't do anything. I don't even want you to admit anything to anybody except to yourself.
I don't care what you want, Keith. I disagree with your premises and your analysis, if one can call it that. Can you stop pretending that it's not possible to disagree with what you say? That would be great.
But you know that someday, probably soon, something bad will happen, and whatever he does will make it worse, and it will all be clear that he's not healthy enough to be the president, and they will have to remove him.
Okay, so you just quietly transitioned from lying, dishonest stupidity to ominous pseudo-threat level. What are you on about? And who is this they that will have to remove Trump?
And by the way, it will be the Republicans who will have to remove him. The Vice
Of course.
President and the Speaker of the House using the 25th Amendment, or the Republican congressmen and the Republican senators impeaching him.
What the heck? Impeachment? We will need a proper bona fide scandal amounting to treason to impeach Trump. And you and I both know that the crime of treason is somewhat out of fashion with all the Clintons and Obama and Bush. Yeah. You're out of your mind. I mean, everything can happen, don't get me wrong, but the scenario you're proposing as predestined seems so improbable to me a priori that I absolutely don't see where you're going with this. I can tell you in no uncertain terms that while I was critiquing your video and mocking it to some extent before, my state of mind has completely changed. It's transitioned to unadulterated disdain now.
Because this isn't about what he believes in. This is about the fact that he's not well.
Of all of the people I've ever listened to who criticize Donald J. Trump and his supporters, you are the most unpleasant, bar none.
So all I'm asking, all that this video has been about, is for you to just think about it for when the time comes, because when the Republicans really need to remove him as president, they will need to do it in a hurry. And as a Republican, or as a conservative, or as a Democrat, or as an American, or whichever way you describe yourself, it will be a lot easier and a lot safer for all of us if you have prepared yourself.
Oh yeah, I'll make a shelter and buy food.
Him. Because he is not well. Thanks for listening.
The most disingenuous, patronizing, lying, anti-Trump video that I have ever seen. This is somewhat hard for me to believe myself, but I am genuinely upset at this video and the speaker. He has provided barely any evidence of this alleged mental illness that Donald Trump would be suffering from. This claim is ridiculous at face value without any hard evidence. And a few tweets certainly don't constitute that, by the way, but when taken in context, this accusation is even more outlandish. I don't think anybody has forgotten the video evidence showing Clinton collapsing, fainting, coughing for sustained periods of time on stage, and this is just about her physical well-being. How about when she promised to enforce a no-fly zone over Syria? Clearly indicated she wanted to start a war with Russia. That's what mentally ill, or at very least utterly sociopathic, looks like to me. And what about her graciousness in defeat? If Trump has none of it in victory, which is an obvious lie, and it's easy to find video evidence of him praising both Obama and Clinton after winning to their face, Clinton didn't even show up to concede that she had been defeated fair and square. The Democrats carried on with that recount narrative for a month at least. You are filth, Keith Olbermann. I wouldn't spit on you if your hipster glasses were on fire. Oh my. Oh well, sorry to end on such a dramatic note. It took me a while to take this video apart, but it was filled to the brim with dishonesty in my opinion. I tried to make the case that Olbermann's video is yet another disparaging video from the left with no points. Only worse due to the magnitude and omnipresence of the dishonesty. At least I hope you found it entertaining. Thanks for watching.